What's going on, everybody? Devore and G Money. This is the Not for the Bay podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on our Facebook pages. The Not for the Bay podcast is sponsored by Bet Us, the online bookie site. If you click the link in the description, you will receive 125% in gambling bonuses. Gee, tonight is the night. We get a double header of power this evening.
Oh, really? You know what? Honestly, I haven't been watching the second version of Power, the continuation or spinoff, whatever you want to call it. I watched the first season. I got to catch up. So, I kind of sense what's happening. There's a lot of memes on Facebook. I guess Zeke found out that, the Mary J. Blige character is actually his mom, not his auntie. So I know what's genuinely happened. I just haven't been watching it. I got to get into it, though.
Damn, man, I thought you was up to speed.
No. I'm not up to speed with Power. I've been watching Ozark. So,
How is it?
I'm not going to give it away, but it's intense, man. It's crazy that it's only going to be 4 seasons. Like, that show is so emotional. It reminds me. It's so emotionally intense. Like, I really love it. And for it to be only 4 seasons, I feel like that's kind of like, that's it. But hey, it's going out with a bang. I'll tell you that much. It's going out with a bang.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It has. I'm not sure if you watched Queen of the South. Did you watch that before?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I heard that was good though.
Okay, so I can't even really have this discussion about the new villain.
That's on Hulu, right?
Yes, it's also on Netflix. The whole series is on Netflix. But
okay,
the new villain that's in Ozark season 4, he is one of my favorite characters in Queen of the South. I want to say season 3. So yeah, that dude is he's a really good actor. If you catch my drift.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But let me go ahead and let the people know what we're about to get into today. We're going to talk about the Portland Trailblazers and the LA Clippers trade, obviously. We have the NBA trade deadline right around the corner, the February 10th, 2022, obviously. The countdown are the Philadelphia 76ers are going to pull a trade off by the NBA trade deadline with Ben Simmons. And also, last but not least, we're going to be discussing the Washington team's new name and new uniforms, the Washington Commanders. Bangers as always. But yes, first things first, man. The Philadelphia 76ers, Ben Simmons, we're having this discussion again. Are we going to be able to pull this trade off before the 10th?
Well, first of all, he's getting fined for every game that he missed. There was a quote sent out by his team, camp, whatever you want to call it. They don't give a damn about the money. I don't know what's going on with this dude. I don't know why he's so depressed and so down. It to me seemed like he just given up, which sucks. But we don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe it's Doc Rivers. Maybe we just need a new place to go. But I can see the trade happening. To me, straight up trade with him and James Harden. I think that they both would fit on the other team. Because what does these Sixers need? They need somebody who can just score the ball and can just score, and can shoot and can get his own shot. Ben is good with orchestrating, but he won't score. Like, he won't take that shot, and it's just so frustrating. So get out of there. And then put him with the Nets. And then if you look at the Nets side, they already have Kevin Durant. They already have Kyrie. They just need somebody to distribute the ball and run the offense, which is exactly what Ben can do. So I think it would work on both sides. I honestly don't see any other trade working for the 76ers other than the one with Brooklyn Nets. That's it. That's the only one I see.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one really I see at this point. That the Philadelphia 76ers can get back in return where they can actually benefit this year from if they plan on making a serious championship run. Because Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid is arguably the best player in the league right now, playing like an MVP. So
which is why it's more frustrating that you got this man out here balling his heart out, and you depressed? Like you don't want to play because you're depressed? Like what?
Come on, man.
I don't know what's going on though. I don't know. I don't know. But it just seems like there's something more. There's something that we don't know about. Something that's going on and we don't know. And it sucks because if Ben's mind was right, him and B could be. They could have been a tandem for the ages. Like they could have won so many championships together if his mindset was right, or maybe if Doc Rivers wasn't there. I don't know. But all I know is Joel Embiid is balling. He's balling. He's really carrying that team.
Well, we had the discussion in the past as far as what's going on with Ben Simmons, but like obviously, let's go. Like he didn't play well in the series with the Atlanta Hawks. We all get that. He was 14 for 35, if I'm not mistaken, from the free throw line.
From the free throw line, yeah.
From the whole series. Mm-hmm. And let's just go to the press conference that Joel Embiid had after they got bounced out the playoffs the last game. I believe it was game 6, 7.
No,
7.
They got beat in Philly in game 7.
Yeah, game 7. So they asked him what the turning point of the game was, and he kind of stumbled on it at first, but he came out and was like, if someone didn't pass up an open shot. Come on, man, you can't do that. We already talking about this. He can't do that. That's something you cannot do. You can't throw your teammate under the bus and then.
But is that throwing up? Is that really throwing him under the bus? I mean, because that's what happened. He gave up a shot. That's
everybody knew the reason why you lost. Joel Embiid didn't need to solidify the reason by throwing Ben Simmons under the bus.
And then on top of that, your teammate, your partner threw you on the bus, and then your coach didn't have your back. So I get it.
We was having this discussion. Me and Banks and some other guys were having the discussion on Xbox Party the other day, and one of the guys made a reference because one of them said he asked him what his profession was. He said he works at a Starbucks at the airport, and he asked him like, hey yo, so what if everybody said that you make the worst latte in the airport? How would you feel? He would be like, F you with F this job. So that's kind of like the same thing with Ben Simmons, where your head coach gets asked the question, can you win a championship with Ben Simmons, or do you need to bench Ben Simmons in the fourth quarter? He really didn't give a straight up answer about it. So if you know what
would have been a better answer. I'm sorry to cut you off.
What's up?
We're happy with Ben Simmons, but we just need to do some work. That's something like that. Something in the terms of that. Like you're not, because there's constructive criticism that you can give, but not be disrespect your player. So if he said something like that, like we all need to work as a team, that would have been okay. But he didn't really. So I get what you're saying, but the other side of that is you got to understand the frustration. This is not just this year. They've been frustrated with this man for about 4 or 5 years. Why don't you shoot? Just take the shot. If you miss, so what? You'll make the next 5 or whatever it is. Like just you can't be scared to fail. Like if you're scared to fail, you're never going to succeed. So it's like, yes, they threw him under the bus, but moving forward, whatever team that he goes to, if something bad happens, he can't let that consume him. He can't let that. So the 76ers are wrong, yes, but he also needs to work on his mental toughness because you can't get mad, can't let everything that comes bother you or you want to get in a shell. Like, come on, man. No, just get out of that. Like you got so much talent and so much potential, and it's going to be waste. Every time you go to a new team, you're going to not like something and just go quit. Like, so he still has to work on himself. But yes, they threw his ass under the bus, which wasn't cool.
I wanted to say, like, when it comes down to the whole shooting aspect of it, like, it's a mental thing. So when everybody sits here and criticizes you and tries to force you to do something that is not instinct, I can understand the frustration with Ben.
Yeah, but that's 1 year. He came into the league not shooting. It's not like
that's understandable.
This is not a 1 year thing. He's been doing this for 4 or 5 years. Like, just try. He's not even trying. And then you see him on videos in the offseason out there wet. So if you're the 76ers, you don't like, why the hell can you do that on the offseason? But you can't do that in the playoffs. Like, so again, it's still his mindset. He still has to work on whatever it is that's blocking him. It's still about him. At the end of the day, you can't blame everything on the Sixers.
Hey, at the end of the day, you can't blame everything on the Sixers, but at the same time, I can understand why Ben Simmons don't want to play with him no more.
I get it. It's right on both parts. It's not just right on one side or the other. It's right on both parts. That's what I'm saying. Just go somewhere new, start over, start fresh, start to a team like the Nets, who you got Kyrie, whatever that is. You got whatever he plays, and then you got KD. I think Ben and KD, but alone would be enough. Possibly would be enough. Maybe.
They would definitely take out the Bucks.
No, hell no. I don't think so. No.
You don't think so? Are you serious?
I think James Harden with Embiid has a better chance to beat the Bucks, in my opinion.
I don't know. I really like that Brooklyn Nets team with Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant. Like, let's just think about the wingspan on the court at that time.
Like, yeah, but if you got only one person scoring,
what you want? You got Kevin Durant scoring, you get Kyrie scoring.
But that's the thing, though. Kyrie only plays away games. He's got this thing where he's not playing at home.
Whole
you got half of Kyrie, so it's like the Nets still don't. They're not going to win even with Ben. James Harden and all the Sixers needed somebody to score. That's it. They got the defense. They got Joel Embiid. That tandem, that would be dangerous. That I would worry about. But Ben Simmons and Durant, I still don't think that would be enough. Now, if he had the scoring with the ball movement and the orchestrating, yes, but he doesn't want to shoot. Now, what if he comes out in Brooklyn and starts shooting? That would be a concept. That would be something. I doubt that would happen, but that would be something. What's up, Shake?
Yeah, 1,000%. I find it interesting, like the 76ers front office wouldn't try to pull this trade off sooner because, like, it's at a point where no return. Remember, we had a pod a couple months back before the season even started when they sent multiple 76ers players down to go recruit Ben Simmons back to the 76ers, and he said he wasn't going to play with him. I think they should have did it right then and there within the next couple of weeks. Okay,
trade him, yeah.
This relationship is tarnished. We're not gonna make it work here. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, the chemistry ain't there. We got to move on. That's what that right there. They should have did it right there, then and there.
I agree with you, but you know what? A lot of the times when a player is about to get traded, they let him play to show the other teams his value so they can get a better trade in return. But the guy didn't want to play, so it's like, why are you keeping him? Like
we already know what his value is. Like, there's no reason for us to sit here and showcase who Ben Simmons is. Everybody knows who Ben Simmons, 6'10", 240 pounds, defensive player of the year. Like, we know what he is. Like, he is a excuse me. I lost my train of thought.
He's LeBron 2.0.
LeBron 2.0. Like,
he is Dennis Rodman who can score a little.
LeBron 2.0. That's disrespectful, Quinto.
That's very
he is Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman doesn't score the basketball.
Dennis Rodman is not a pass. He's not a passer.
No, he's Dennis Rodman who can score a little bit.
A little bit. He can score a lot of it.
I would put Draymond better, like version of Dennis Rodman.
I'm gonna say this
defensively.
I'd rather have Dennis Rodman on my team.
Hey, but listen, Dennis Rodman was special.
I'm just being honest. I'd rather have Dennis Rodman over Draymond.
That's not even a debate. Like, who the hell would pick Draymond over Dennis Rodman? I don't care how many assists Draymond get. Ain't nobody better than Dennis Rodman at the power forward. He's not even a power forward. He's just a forward.
He's a 6'6" power forward.
And he played out of his mind. Like, he played with so much passion. Dennis Rodman is one of the greatest players of all time. And he wasn't even a scorer. He's just a rebounder and just played with heat. Just a rebounder.
If you remember when he played for the Pistons, he scored. Yeah. He scored a little bit. He realized his niche. His defense.
He was getting his defensive rebound. Yeah.
I'm saying, if you watch the early days we played for the Pistons, he was scoring. He wasn't 30 points and stuff like that, but he was
hitting little jump shots. Yeah. He had little jump shots. Yeah.
He's being 100 with you.
And to be honest with you, I think Dennis and Scottie Pippen are the two greatest defenders, like one-on-one, lock you down defenders like that. Them two are the greatest. And Michael, to me, is third.
To me, I'm going to say this too. That's who they should compare LeBron to, Scottie Pippen, not Michael Jordan.
Exactly. I don't understand the comparison to Michael. It's two different players.
Also, people need to realize, without Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan won none of those championships.
That's true. But see, when you're mainly a scorer, you need that other player to be the facilitator and the orchestrator of the offense. See, with LeBron is different. He's the orchestrator of the offense and the leader, so he needs another scorer with him. Kyrie, what Anthony Davis should have been, and that's what LeBron needs.
I'm gonna say this. See, I had to come to realization with LeBron. LeBron needs somebody just to play inside his system. You can't play outside LeBron's system to make it work. That's why he left Miami. Because he wanted people to do what he wanted to do. That's what's wrong with the Lakers right now. Because I'm gonna say that if they swap out Buddy Hield for Westbrook, they'd be in the playoff hunt right now. Because Buddy Hield can do all the things that LeBron needs him to do. He's gonna play good defense. Then when they play the zone, he can switch very well. He can hit the open three. He's a spot-up shooter. And he can when LeBron goes on the bench, he can score a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
Well, we knew that before they made all them trades, though.
I know, but it's saddening to watch.
Yeah, man, it's terrible, man. It's like I was watching the game against the Clippers. They were down by 17, and they came back in the fourth, and Anthony Davis was just nobody couldn't guard him. He got 30 and 17. But it's like you just knew the Clippers were going to win. You just had that feeling like the Clippers going to win this game. Like, Reggie Jackson got the ball after Davis scored on the alley-oop, and the man was skipping down the court like he knew he was going to score. They did the switch. They got Reeves on him, and he did the spin. Westbrook missed the double team, just missed, and he got the layup. And it's like you just knew it was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen.
I'm going to say this. People love Westbrook. I don't know why. But I'm going to say he's a athletic player. I gave him that. But he got to remember, he is 30 plus. He needs to evolve his game. Remember when D Wade was athletic and he was just dunking on everybody?
Yeah, I remember. He
taking the hole, dunking on everybody. Mm-hmm. He learns to use his basketball IQ to score.
He developing the post game.
He started developing the mid-range shot. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mid-range monster.
He's not doing none of that.
Let me just say something. I think I alluded to this before. The reason why people love Westbrook is because he plays hard and he doesn't quit on his team and he's a good guy, like genuinely a good guy.
Yeah.
But dude, like you you can't, like, he can't shoot, like, and he just doesn't learn how to shoot. Like, it's so frustrating. And not only the shooting, but the decision making sometimes. It's like he goes so fast. Like, just like Shaq told him, slow down and relax. But he just doesn't get it. Like, it's frustrating.
Well, remember when they played the Heat in the championship that year? Even though they lost, Westbrook had that mid-range free throw jump shot, that stop and pop was on point. And after that season, he stopped doing that. You remember?
I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Because that was his game. Like, I don't understand, like, why he tried to develop a three, but like, dude, you was not a 3-point shooter. Like, just work on the mid-range. D Wade is a Hall of Famer off mid-range shots. Yes. He was a terrible 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So you just got to do what works for you. But he just something blocked him. I don't know.
It's frustrating. What it is, man.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get back to this whole. You think Ben Simmons is Dennis Rodman?
I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. I'm saying I'm saying it in looking like this. Okay, Dennis Rodman is one of the best defenders, a great rebounder, a great putback scorer, and that's what Ben Simmons does. But only thing that Ben Simmons does better than Dennis Rodman, he can take you to the hole. He can dunk on you. He will not shoot, and Dennis Rodman will not shoot. He's going to lock down your best offensive threat on the opposite team.
This dude, let me
tell
you something.
He's
I know. I hear you. I'm gonna tell you something. when the Bulls lost to the Magic in '95 because they didn't have a power forward to stop Horace Grant and Shaq, they got Dennis Rodman. They came back in '96 and Rodman shut Shaq down like Shaq.
Yeah,
Shaq, like he shut Shaq down, and they swept the Magic. And he only 6'6". That man, I'm telling you, Dennis
Shaq
Rodman
is 7'1", 300 pounds.
He shut him down.
Shut him down.
6'6". Shut him down.
All the great centers who played in the '90s, he did them dirty. He did Alonzo Mourning dirty. He did Hakeem Olajuwon. He did everybody dirty.
Well, no. In the '90s, nobody was messing with Hakeem.
No, up until he was. I'm gonna say this.
Hakeem gave it to Shaq too.
He be scoring 30 points a game when they play the Bulls. He's gonna score 12 or 15.
I gotta go back and look at that.
Go watch. Just like I was trying to prove to a guy at work that when Embiid play the Heat with Adebayo play, he doesn't play that great.
Yeah, there's somebody Adebayo. He's like he got his number.
Hey, can we get a height check on Dennis Rodman? I think he's 6'7".
No, Dennis Rodman was 6'9".
He was 6. Yeah. No, he was 6'6". Just like I'm gonna say this.
He was 6'7", I think.
They should say D Wade was 6'6". D Wade is 6'4", probably 6'3".
D Wade is 6'3", yeah.
Yes.
D Wade was he wasn't
they say Charles Barkley was 6'8". Charles Barkley the same height as he's him and D Wade the same height.
Charles Barkley was small too. I don't know, somebody those wide body dudes like they were small, but you had a wide body, so in the paint it would work. I'm looking up his height. He was 6'7". He was 6'7", yeah.
But that's not a big difference. It's not like it's a big difference.
It's not really a big difference at all. Your 6'7" forward is guarding a 7'1" behemoth and locking him down. Yeah.
Let's think about it. Back in the day, that was a shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
A small forward was 6'9", 6'10". Power forward 6'9", 6'8". Center 6'10" and up.
Right.
And he's guarding people 3-4 inches taller than him and more body weight than him.
But as far as the Hakeem, nobody was touching Hakeem in the '90s. Not Patrick Ewing, not Shaq, not even Shaq. Nobody was touching Hakeem in the '90s. Not David Robinson, nothing.
But he had impeccable feet. That footwork was impeccable.
Ooh, that footwork was so beautiful. Oh my God,
that footwork was impeccable, man.
Hakeem was the man. If it wasn't for Jordan, he would have been a man in the '90s.
Well, I'm gonna say technically, okay. Like people, it's a dude that outscored Jordan, who had numbers scored in time. I forget his name. He scored more points than Jordan in the '80s, and nobody talks about it.
In the '80s, well, Jordan in the '80s was great too. Don't get me wrong, but he just
you got to remember, Jordan came in the league when I was born, 83, 84.
Yeah. 84, 85, yeah.
Yeah,
that's before my time.
But that's
just being born, man. So
how you think I know? YouTube is a great tool. YouTube and NBA TV.
It don't do it justice from you watching it live.
When you watch it live,
I get you, but I study basketball so much, so it doesn't.
Okay, just like people on the West Coast, they love Kobe. People who live in Miami, they love D Wade because they see him play.
But they're both great.
They're both great, but people from California, like people who live on the West Coast, they hold Kobe to a higher regard to any other two guard they ever played. They say he's better than Jordan.
That makes sense, but for me personally, I'm more of an open-minded person, free-spirited person. I'm not. A lot of people are one-track minded.
But
there's different.
You can't take their bias away. You can't take it away, even when you show facts. You can't take it away.
I know, but yeah, I hear you. That's why that whole LeBron thing is crazy. It's like I love LeBron. I love his game. I love what he brought to the game. But he's not better than Michael. Like, no, like.
But I'm gonna say, this what I always say to people. If you draft a team today, are you gonna pick Jordan or LeBron?
I feel like both work. I feel like both work. Both were successful. Jordan was a little just more successful, but they both had success. So.
But he needed help, just like LeBron needed help, right?
Everybody needs help. I don't understand.
But I'm gonna say this to you. Early in LeBron's career, he took He took me, you, DeVar, and Banks to the championship.
That's true. He did. Yeah.
Did Michael Jordan ever do that? Did he ever do that? He lost 5 years straight, getting his behind whooped by the
Celtics,
and the Pistons.
Celtics Pistons. Yeah,
I mean, getting swept, getting mollywopped.
He got swept twice in 86 and 87. 88, they lost in 5 to the Pistons. 89, they lost in 6. 90, they lost in 7, and in 91, that's when they finally swept the Pistons. But it took 7 years to get to that.
That's
point.
Why it took Scottie Pippen, everybody else it took Scottie Pippen to get stronger, to learn the game more,
and to develop his game more. Yeah,
and get that triangle offense down.
But see, that's the concept. That's what I'm saying. A scorer, somebody who's mainly a scorer, needs somebody else who's a facilitator to do everything else on the team. If you go back and look at the stats, Scottie led them in rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, everything. Michael just led them in
people
scoring.
People don't look at that. They don't look at that.
They don't. They just think that Jordan did everything, and it's like no. It's like no.
That's why I will. In today's NBA, yes, Mike will probably score 60 points a game, yes, but he will be on a losing team. He will be Westbrook with all the double doubles, triple doubles.
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna say this to you: if he say Michael Jordan played for the what's a bad team?
You know, Mike was great in the 80s, right? Just because he lost doesn't mean he was bad.
Great.
He was great in the 80s. I'm gonna say this.
Go
ahead.
I wish my brother was here to say this. He said people act like Michael Jordan didn't have bad games or shoot the ball too much, didn't pass the ball to us. He did not.
Okay, what I'm saying is,
I'm not finished. My thing is with Jordan. I know Jordan is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. I know he is one of the greatest, but he's the greatest of his era from 84 to whenever he retired. Really to 98, he was the greatest player. He was the greatest player to 98. When he came back and played for the Wizards, I don't count that. But it does count against him. It counts against him, but it counts.
Yeah.
It doesn't count against him for me.
Okay, hold on. Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
By 87, 88, which was his 4th year in the league, he was already the best player. Everybody acknowledged that he was the best player. He was better than Magic. He was better than Bird. He was better than Isaiah. He was better than Kareem.
But they were old and about to retire.
That's people don't.
But what are you talking about? The Lakers won the championship in 87 and 88. What do you mean?
But they were
Magic was still Magic. Magic was still young.
I'm gonna say this.
He went back to the finals in 91. No. Just like how we know.
Reason why Michael Jordan came up in the 90s because Magic Johnson especially got AIDS or HIV. Because if you want to be technical, be serious with this, be 100. If Magic never supposedly had got HIV or AIDS, he probably won another 2 championships, and Michael Jordan probably have 3.
You realize the Lakers and the Bulls played in 91, right? Magic was still Magic. Magic just won the MVP. He was still great.
But at the same time, they had a bunch of old players on the team. They didn't rebuild the team how they wanted to. Think about that, dude. Just think about it. If you gave Magic with a team full of rim runners and shooters.
So how did they get to the finals then? If they were so bad, how did they get to the finals?
Magic
and he won another MVP after.
I will pick Magic over Mike.
Okay, that's
my humble opinion. People look at Mike scoring and Mike. They gonna look at Mike's. They look at Mike scoring like he's the best. I don't care about that. I care about the other intangibles in the game. I will pick Kobe over him. I'm gonna pick D Wade over him. I'm gonna pick LeBron over him. I'm just being 100. Which I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the Force, the Diesel over him. That's Shaq. I'm gonna pick Keem over Mike.
Shaq's longevity was a problem and his weight. But listen, what I'm saying is that.
I'm gonna say this too.
But let me just say
for
something.
10 years straight, you couldn't stop Shaq. They made rules to stop Shaq.
Let me just say something. It's not about Michael scoring. It's about the mental toughness.
That's all it is.
No, it's not. Not with
everybody. He scored 80 points.
You're talking to me. You're talking to me here. You're talking to me. For Gregory, it's about the mental toughness and his will, his drive not to lose. That's what it's about. That's why he's the greatest player. That's why he's the greatest player.
I want to hear that.
That's not bull crap. That's not bull crap.
I respect your knowledge of the game, G. But that's bull crap.
That's not bull.
I'm gonna say this to you: if you pick anybody, nobody likes Mike.
That doesn't mean he was bad at his job. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that he just probably wasn't a person to be around.
Mike should have had 8 championships. He wasn't caught gambling allegedly. Something happened to his father. That was a little fishy to me as a little kid. That is a little fishy to me, and I realized that as a little kid.
It's still fishy now. It's still fishy now. Yeah.
You retired for 2 years, or a year and a half, or whatever it was, and come back. You did Space Jam and all this stuff. Everybody forget, come back, win another 3-peat. Come on.
If you remember the Last Dance, they mentioned that, and they was like, I didn't suspend. David Stern was like, I didn't, before he died. He was like, I didn't suspend Michael for gambling, and you could just tell they lying. They covering up that
something's
shit.
Not right. They covered
something not right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that for me, his mental toughness is why he's better than every other player, just in my opinion. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this: Kobe had more mental toughness.
No, I don't
Kobe
think so.
had to deal with more greater players, in a sense, more athletic players.
More athletic.
Yes. I'm gonna say this: people,
but not better.
Because back in the day, I would agree, every team had their star on their team. Right?
You know what's crazy? Okay, go finish your point. I'm sorry.
Everybody had their star on the team back in the day, but today you have more athletically, more technically sound players that play, but they're not as great as the players back then. They don't have the mental toughness. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But
most of them.
Think about it. Who Kobe had to deal with? He had to deal with LeBron. He had to deal with D Wade, Brandon Roy. You had to deal with
not so much them. He had to deal with
these
Dirk.
players. Most of you got to remember.
He had to deal with
Brandon Roy didn't have those 2 bad knees. He would be one of the best players ever played. One of the best.
Right, but he didn't. I'm talking about the people he played in the playoffs, the Spurs.
I'm talking about
the Mavericks.
I'm talking about regular season battles, bro. Regular season battles. He played against top flight players. Freaking
but the
city.
playoffs is where the intensity.
Yeah, I give you that. I give you that.
Saying?
But also, you can say with Kobe, he didn't win until he get a big man to finish the triangle. He was just another person scoring a lot of points, hogging the ball, and padding the stats in a sense. And I love Kobe. I love Crazy 8 Kobe, Nappy Fro Kobe.
Let me just make a point. 24 Kobe wasn't as athletic. Obviously, he was older, but he was so much smarter and so much cerebral. Yeah. I like 24 Kobe. Don't get me wrong. Number 8 Kobe was great, but 24 Kobe was the better overall player, in my opinion.
I like Crazy 8 Kobe. I like Crazy 8 Kobe.
Crazy 8 Kobe was. Listen,
that's
when he came out,
he got drafted when I was in middle school. That was my favorite player.
When he played, I remember it was Game 4 against Indiana. It was 2000. Shaq fouled out, which is like Shaq doesn't foul out. So he's like, damn, I fouled out. They was already down 2-1, and Kobe carried that team to the victory, and then they eventually won in 6. Like that performance was special. And that was 8 Kobe. That was before the mental toughness came in. He was just playing.
No, but Kobe always had mental toughness.
Mental toughness, but it got better. It got better over time.
Kobe probably had a 300 IQ, man. I'm being 100 with you. That man was one of the smartest.
Smart, yes.
You can't take that. I never saw. It's like he's like you. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, you remember Piccolo of Dragon Ball Z?
Piccolo, Piccolo was smart as hell.
That's who I see. Kobe.
Hey, Devoy, you got to clip that. You got to clip that. No, but that's true. Piccolo was always the person that gave you advice and calm you down and plan out. I get the comparison, but that's a hell of a comparison, though.
Because just think about it, Piccolo could do everything. He wasn't the most powerful fighter, but he knew how to fight. He knew how to fight. He's not gonna give up. That's why I see. And think about he's the mumble, and he was.
Are you seriously about to compare Kobe to a soft Dragon Ball Z character?
No,
wait, hold on. He's not soft. He's not soft.
To me, he wasn't.
He's not soft.
I'm gonna say this to you. If it wasn't for Saiyans, he'd be one of the greatest fighters in the Dragon Ball Z.
That's what they need to do something with.
I'm just being 100 with you. Think about it.
Yeah. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't do anything.
He dog walked the prince of the Saiyans, both of them. Goku and Vegeta.
He whooped their ass.
He whooped them. Both of them.
Well, he didn't whip Vegeta, but he did beat Goku.
He beat Goku. He ain't never beat Goku.
Yes, he did. He did beat Goku.
When he beat Goku.
Remember, the story starts in
I watched
Ball.
Dragon Ball. This is back in the 90s, so I can't recall the
Dragon Ball.
Well, I know. We talk about Junior Piccolo.
Junior Piccolo. Piccolo was Piccolo. You got to go back and watch this on Hulu. Go back and watch.
So you talk about King Piccolo or you talk about Junior Piccolo?
No, Junior Piccolo.
I just remember he looking like a boy with the head wrap and everything. That's why
he didn't win that fight.
I'm gonna say this.
It was a draw. He didn't win that fight.
He won the fight.
He won the fight.
I say Piccolo because he's supposed to, the reptilian thing with the Mamba and stuff like that. That's why I say Piccolo. And
that's why that makes sense. I get you.
And if you know history of black history, the Moors and all those the smartest black people. And that I consider
Piccolo
when I see somebody who's supposed to be a Moor, I see Kobe.
Excuse me.
I'm just being 100. I see Kobe. And that's who Kobe is to me. Kobe is what I remember about Kobe is that he had basketball ability, but I remember a very intelligent man. That's what I remember. Even he was a very intelligent young person. Know what he wanted. He had drive at that young age. You understand? That's what I remember.
I agree. And you know what? D Wade has some of that too. D Wade has some of that too.
And D Wade had it in a fun way.
Kobe was more serious.
He was more serious. D Wade was more fun.
All right.
Kobe was all serious.
Yes, he was all about the shits.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm gonna say this. D Wade, to me, D Wade and Kobe, Kobe's better than D Wade, but for a short period of time, D Wade was giving him work.
Listen, everybody talk about. Let me just say something. Everybody talk about LeBron versus D Wade. LeBron versus Kobe. I like D Wade versus Kobe. That was more intense.
Even said it. And Kobe even said it.
Kobe even said like they used to go at it, man. This was always intense. Oof.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the players Kobe had to play. Look at the athletic ability players Kobe had to play.
Well, see, LeBron and D Wade came a little bit after. So before they came,
think about it.
He had to play Sacramento.
They came at 2003.
Right. He had to play Sacramento and Chris Webber. He had to play the Spurs. Yeah. He had to play Utah. He had to play Michael. He had to play a lot of players, man. Like
that's what I'm saying. He had to play a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Just being 100.
His competition was fierce.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, let's go ahead and move on to this Portland Trailblazers and this LA Clippers trade. The Clippers ended up receiving Norman Powell, Robert Covington, and the Trailblazers ended up receiving Justice Winslow, Eric Bledsoe, and Keon Johnson, and also the Detroit Pistons 2025 second round pick.
I like the Justice Winslow pickup. They can help a little bit because if they can help him a little bit, because I know he dealt with a little mental problems and stuff like that with Justice Winslow here in Miami. I think the lights are too big for him in the city. He needs to go somewhere different.
Somewhere it's quieter,
Yeah, that's why I feel. Because to me, Justice Winslow is a decent player, a good player. But I just feel like the compare, because they drafted him to replace D Wade, and he was getting you'll see it some games. That man will be on fire, dunking on people and everything. The next game, that boy scored 5 points.
And then look,
G know what I'm talking. G know what I'm talking about. It looked like he just looked distant, like he's off into space.
Yeah,
I like the trade.
I agree. Well, that's good for him, but Portland is basically starting over. They're rebuilding. And certain players like, San Antonio, the Spurs, he came out with David Robinson and had Avery Johnson in that team. Then Manu and Parker came. So and then Kawhi started coming on. So there's been players that stayed on one team and did rebuilds multiple times. So I get what Dame is, staying loyal. Loyalty is very rare in life in general. So I understand his loyalty, and that's honorable. But it's like, as a fan, Dame is such a great person off and on the court. Like, he's such a competitor, he plays with heart. He doesn't cheat the game. I want to see him win a championship, like, for real. Like, I actually want to see him win a championship. And I think he should leave Portland, but he's gonna, he's staying loyal. He's gonna go through that rebuild, and hopefully everything works out with him. But if I was Dame Lillard, I would find a way to team him up with Luka in Dallas, and make that
hell no, man.
Yes,
hell
yes,
no.
yes.
Hell
yes.
no.
Yes.
Find a way.
Why don't you?
I don't like that sorry bastard, man.
He's not sorry, man. He's not sorry.
Come
on, man.
There you go.
There you go.
I want to see him go home, go play for the
Why don't you like Luka? Like, that dude is nice.
I just don't like him.
That dude is not. But why?
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. If he was a black dude, he would be an average player.
Quinte, can I just say something? Let me say this
real quick, bro. Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
If he was a black player, he'd be an average basketball player. Okay, they be oh, he's so slow, he can't dunk, he can't do nothing, he's athletic.
He doesn't need to be fast to be a good basketball player.
Dude.
Quinte,
I'm gonna say this. You know for a fact, if he was an Afro-American or Afro-Latinx.
Not in this case. And I'll explain why.
I just don't. I'm gonna say this to you. To me, he cannot carry a team. He can't. He needs too much help.
Okay, can I respond?
Wait. Let me finish. What he gonna do? What he gonna do? Make it to the playoffs and get his ass bounced out in 5 and 6?
DeVore, let me respond first.
What he gonna do? What has happened the last couple of years? He's getting his ass bounced in the playoffs.
He beat a LA Clippers team that was stacked with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George a couple years ago.
I question those two basketball
and beat them bad too.
They have
beat
bad mental toughness. I'm gonna say this.
They still lost the series.
They have come on now.
Okay, Quinte, you got to let me respond to what you're saying. But go ahead.
I don't want to hear that crap.
No,
Quinte, go to the next friend. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear nothing.
You are going to hear
put your
this.
stuff on me.
I just don't like that dude, man. I just say
can I just say something?
Go ahead.
You would be right, and I hope nobody takes offense to this, but you would be right if it was a white American player. You would be right. Them European white boys, look at Sabonis. Look at them. They're not scared to play against the black brothers in the league. They play hard and they play with passion.
Sabonis,
and Luka, wait. Let me finish.
I like Sabonis.
I get you. Okay, that's fine. But not only Luka, but look at Nikolai Jokovic. That boy is balling. That boy got so much talent. Like, he's so amazing as a player. Like, you can't compare white American dudes with them Europeans. It's not the same. Luka got some game.
He has white skin.
It's not the same.
He's Caucasian.
Not when it comes to basketball.
Basketball.
It's the difference.
You're black.
The Europeans.
You heard me say basketball. You heard me say Afro Latinx, but we have a lot of Afro Latinx in the NBA. and we have one or two indigenous people, and Patty Mills and someone else.
Tim Duncan was considered indigenous? No.
I'm talking about Patty Mills. Patty Mills is from Australia. He's an indigenous person.
So is
one other person.
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons too. Yeah. And what we bag on? He can't shoot.
He can shoot. Did you not watch the game last night? Come on, man. You got.
But I'm saying Ben Simmons. I ain't talking about white boy. I'm gonna say this. What white boy is known for? Not playing defense, playing with some heart, and know how to shoot.
Larry Bird, you didn't.
Nah, Larry Bird is different. I love Larry Bird. You can't talk about Larry Bird.
Okay. DeVore, what you got to say, man? Because you've been back there quiet. Because I know you want to respond.
I'm just listening to Quinte just spew out nonsense.
I just don't like him, man. I don't like him, man. I remember early in the season, when the Heat played him and blowed him out badly, he looked terrible.
Their defense got better over time, though. You know, they went on a 10-game winning streak before,
yeah, because they hide his sorry ass net 1-3-1-2-3 defense. You know for a fact he's not playing at the top. He's playing the third one at the bottom. He's trapping somebody in the corner. He's not. I'm sorry. When
he got to work on his
defense. When the playoffs is on the line, you have to play man-to-man defense. They're going to lose. Because he does not have no foot speed.
His offensive game is still lethal. The defense needs work. Okay, but listen. Okay, I got another example. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, when he came in the league, he was just all defense. Yeah. He had to work and develop on his offense. The boy Luka Doncic is only 22, man. Give him some time. Like he'll get there. Give him some time.
To me, I just don't like him. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion.
I got
and nothing you can say to change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to make you understand. That's all.
I just don't understand. I don't like him.
Oh, okay. So let's move on there, Quinte. The Washington Commanders.
Oh my God!
Formerly known as the Washington football team.
That's still another racist name. Another racist connotation. You know what that means?
Former the Washington Redskins.
I'm not gonna say, but it's another racist connotation. But go ahead.
How do you feel? Well, first, let me ask you this: how do you feel about the name, the Washington Commanders?
I think you just said it. Yeah,
another racial connotation. That's all it is.
That's it.
You know what the Commanders were?
Please enlighten us.
All right, okay. You have slave catchers. That's what they were called, the slave catchers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And look who's on the team, a bunch of niggas.
No, he's right. He's right.
I'm sorry, man. I forgot to give you. I need to meet up with you probably next week. I had to go to work. I'll come down there next week to give you this book.
Yeah, okay. I got you, brother. Thank you. Hey, but let me just say, first of all, a whole bunch of, I don't know, maybe women were in there, I don't know, but a whole bunch of grown white dudes or whoever came together and came up with the name the Washington football team. Like what? And then you come back and come with the
Commanders.
Like who's running the team? Like, oh my God.
It's co-owned.
It don't matter.
It's Daniel Snyder and his wife.
I'm actually mad because what is the animals for these? What's the state animal?
For these, every state has a state animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what's for that?
That's a good question. Let's Google that.
Because Florida, we have the eagle, we have the dolphin, we have the manatee.
I could have sworn it was
we have alligators
too, so everybody got an eagle.
No, I don't think Florida has an eagle. Florida has
some kind of
a bird. Flamingo.
Yeah.
Well, more
it's a lot because I used to know all these useless facts when I was a kid. I used to like to read. So
yeah. You looking it up, Devore?
Yes. It is a wood thrush.
What the hell is that?
It's a robin.
Okay, no. So wait,
you could be the Oreo. Well, you can't be the Oreos because I already got the Oreos. Cal Ripken.
The Oreos or the Orleans.
I hope I looked that up right.
Nah, because the Oreo, that's the state. That's Baltimore. That's Baltimore.
What was that team in Houston back in the day? It was a football team in Houston, not the Texans, way back in the day. The Oilers. That's what, but I think that goes with Texas.
That goes with Texas.
The
Midwest, all that, the West, all that goes and coincide with that. The Oilers.
Like I'm trying to think of a name for them. To that area that Maryland, Virginia, DC.
I can't say what I want to say.
I know what you want to say. Like, come on, man. Grown ass men came up with those two names, like back to back.
Now. They should have just stayed with the Washington football team. I was getting used to saying that.
I was used to saying Panther.
Panther.
We had the Panthers in Florida too, though. It's in Everglades, and they will kill you.
Yeah, but Washington Panthers. There's already a Carolina now. I don't know.
It could be the Washington Sharks or something. I don't know. It is on the coast.
That doesn't sound bad.
I like the Predators better. The Washington Predators.
That's still not good. Because look at what the teams went through. He was a predator looking at women's.
Man, you thinking too deep right now, bro. You're thinking way too deep.
That's too deep.
Well, I'm gonna say this: if I'm thinking it, it's a troll person or a fat sloppy person sitting in his room, his mom's basement, will write a whole story about the Predators. Come on now.
You are the captain of conspiracy theorists.
I don't think so. I think I am. I'm just suppressing.
I'm gonna say this. It's not being. I'm gonna say this to you. When you start listening to other people the way they think, and you actually see how the world is, it opens your eyes and you start seeing all the bullcrap. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, you do.
Just like I keep telling people.
Like politics. Politics is
everything. That's the biggest show on earth. Every newscaster says the same thing. From a small, I'm telling you, this says the same thing.
Hold on. Shake said, I'm sorry to cut you off. Shake had a very good one. I wanted Washington Red. I like that.
Nice.
I like that. That's nice. That's nice. I like that.
The Washington Red Tails.
Because
it could be a bird.
Yeah, the Red Tails is nice. That's a good one, Shake.
I would have to ask a Washington football team what it would be like to buy all brand new apparel for the third time.
What's the color? What's the color of the
black
uniform?
It's like the same colors, but they have a black uniform now.
Yeah.
So it's terrible.
It actually looks pretty tight, to be honest.
It does. I ain't gonna front.
I think it might be the best one in the league at this point.
Yeah.
So wait, I got a question because I know you guys are more football guys than me. Why they mess with Kansas City? Like the Chiefs, like nobody says nothing about changing the Chiefs name. Like why nobody messing with Kansas City? Like do they got some kind of immunity? Like what's going on? Like what am I missing?
What's wrong with the Chiefs?
That the Chiefs that's an Indian. What is that? Really derogatory?
It's not a derogatory name.
Okay. Well, okay.
But I can go. Let me shut up because I already got pegged the king for conspiracy. So.
Yeah, I feel like in Chief like a rank anyway.
Yeah,
that's true.
Outside of the whole Indian tribal.
What was that baseball team that they changed the name? Was it the Indians, right?
Yeah.
What's the name now?
The Cleveland Indians. I forgot.
They changed the name in baseball. I can't remember what they are now.
Got the Braves with the whole connotation with the Indian. You got the Florida State Seminoles.
But that hasn't changed either.
The whole, even with, they need to change one thing, but the whole Osceola coming out there throwing the spear into the middle of the field to fire, he should be, this person should look like G, not a white man. But
the Cleveland Guardians, that's the name of the baseball team now, Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, yeah, that's it. They changed from that first name, that first
Cleveland
team
Indians.
To the Guardians.
But to me that wasn't. To me, sometimes stop.
I don't think that's not bad either.
To me, at the same time, I feel as though is stop looking for token some kind of negative out of a sports team. This is a child's game for grown men to get paid, take care of their families.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting tired of a lot of Black folks saying how they're not going to watch NFL till Kaepernick come back and play and blah 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 this and that the other. I said, so you got time for that. So you're going to take away. You're going to minimize all these young brothers work their whole life to get to NFL just because you stand with this player who I wish I still believe. This is my conspiracy. I feel as though it was a whole sham because he wasn't starting anymore. So it is what it is, man. You can't take food off somebody's table just because you're mad at one thing.
So now if we going down this road now, since John Elway, Stephen Ross, and the NFL already released their statements as far as Brian Flores' allegations.
But I'm gonna say this to you: no attorney in their right mind would take on the case if they don't have proven facts. Evidence to show that he have all this stuff. That's just my humble opinion. And also, you gotta look at this. You gotta look what the Dolphins did. They made the man look like he was like the worst person to work with. They did all the slander stuff. That's a whole nother thing.
Okay, Quinte, real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's take this from the top, from the lawyer's perspective, right?
Okay.
You said no lawyer would probably take that case.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as bad publicity in the national media. They can take that case and lose it and can literally get like Just the popularity from it.
But DeVore, I think the point is that they wouldn't take it if they didn't think they could win. They're not gonna take it. That's the point.
Of course.
Even if they lose, they got to think that they can win.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. Like, and everybody needs to go into life with that mindset, to be honest with you.
Right.
But also you gotta look at it like this. It's so-called black man. Now everybody I seen on YouTube 15 people don't post, oh, he got a white wife, what he care about niggas and all this stuff. And I'm like, who cares? This white woman look like she been with him since, you gotta remember the dude from New York, went to private school, went to Boston College. What white black people go to Boston College besides football players? We left Boston College and went to work for the Patriots. Come on now. Nobody get on Vince Wilfork and other players who married to so-called these white women. Who cares? At that point, you got to look at how he was treated. That's what I look at. I look at how he was treated, and I feel as though he shouldn't have got fired from the Dolphins.
Worst decision they made.
And also, from hindsight being 2020, it's a worse decision because look what happened right now. And then, okay, you saying Dayball is a better coaching prospect than Brian Flores? You saying, just like I was saying on
DeVore, hold on. DeVore, what was that guy from the Cowboys, the quarterbacks coach? You made a point.
Kellen Moore.
He has
a chance.
Over Brian Flores?
And Josh McNown. What's his name? What's the dude?
McCown. Josh McCown.
He has a chance to be a coach.
He's literally been on 17 teams in the NFL.
But see, this is why
as a quarterback.
This is why I kind of edged away from football, from NFL football, because it's just so racist and so shady. I just don't
see. I can't call it racist though. I can't call it racist.
Every sport is like that, bro.
It's not even just sports. That's his life.
Okay, what I'm saying is, if the NBA is like that too, but they're more covert with it, and they're at least more social conscious. NFL, they just don't care. They just so blatant with it. I just don't like. I'm still gonna watch the games. Don't get me wrong.
I get the aspect.
The actual game part, I'm not gonna stop watching. I just lost the passion for it, but the passion is coming back because of this show. Because I've been doing this with you guys, and it's great. But I lost a passion for NFL football for a while. I just lost the passion for it.
My thing is, it's just hard for you to prove racism.
That's systemic racism, not racism like inward, like systemic racism.
Hey, Quinte, let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever experienced racism in your life, DeVore? Well, you're younger than me.
Yes, absolutely. In one of my college classes, yes.
So I'm talking about at a younger age than that.
At a younger age?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Well, you didn't, and when you didn't really know what it was, you went home to your parents and explained it to them what happened to you.
No, because it's something that you learned while you were young, whether it be on TV.
No, but it's not. I'm gonna say this to you. As me growing up as a kid, I experienced racism by a person I grew up being a friend with. This dude was my friend all the way till we got up to middle school age. And all of a sudden, he just started calling me N-words and all this stuff. Had to beat the brakes off of him. But I didn't, my mindset didn't change. His mindset changed. Because if you, as a person who used to work with kids, like volunteer work with kids, little black kids don't learn how to be racist, how to hate white people. They don't. They learn from the experience they've been in. I'm being honest to you.
I don't know about that. I think they do learn it. That's something that's learned.
No, I'm gonna say how I'm gonna say
it is taught.
No, I'm gonna say this. Nah, because black kids are growing up to be respectful to everyone, not just the black people. No, we supposed to respect older people than us. It don't matter the color, whatever. That's how I was raised, and most people I know was raised like that. Go ahead. We wasn't raised to hate the white people because they're white. No, we were raised to respect everyone. But at the same time, you know that somebody's disrespecting you because of the color of your skin. I had it on a job. I got spat in the face.
Quinte, can I make a point?
I was going to jail because they said I did something. I didn't do it. I didn't do it just because I was black. Go ahead.
I agree. Let me make a point. You know how that statement that he said is true? The Europeans were sleeping with their pets in the same bed. They came to Africa. They came to Africa. Listen, Quint. Listen, DeVore. They came to Africa, and the Africans taught them how to farm. Taught them how to. You can't have the animals in the same bed as you. They taught them about how to make sticks and tools, and how to use the sun to grow your plants and your. I'm telling you, these people took everything from us. Everything. It goes deeper. It goes deeper, DeVore.
No, don't take it.
It goes deeper. It goes deeper. I'm telling you. It goes deeper. This is why this is. You know what it is? It's jealousy and resentment because we were the first man, and they just is.
That's debatable.
That's
jealous. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to you, G. Know how I know we were the first? Look how they treat us. You know how when your mother said when your little brother hit you, you're the older brother. Don't do anything back. You should know better. Right, we got done bad for so long. We don't do nothing. But if black people truly hate white people would be dead. Think about all the evil stuff white people do to black people all over the world. I want you to think about that. And we ain't do nothing.
Because we wasn't raised that way. We wasn't raised with hate. They was raised with hate.
I'm gonna say some people like to pick the one or two one-offs, the dudes who don't care about life and want to kill everybody. Yeah, that happens. They have degeneracy in every race. But at the same time, from the historical thing, most black people do not think like they're not evil like that. They're not.
Back to our previously scheduled program.
Yes.
So let me just go ahead and
it was getting too deep. It was getting too deep.
So with this whole Brian Flores situation, because the general manager that's with the Giants right now, he came from the Buffalo Bills. So let's say I got offered a job at ESPN, Fox Sports, or whatever, but I take the job, but instead of hiring somebody else to come with me to be my, I guess, co-host or whatever, I bring you guys on. Would that make me racist?
No.
Okay, then. So how could you prove racism if they already have an idea who they want to hire before they do it?
DeVore, this is how you can prove this racism, DeVore. They know they're supposed to have a minority candidate to come in to get the job interview, right? Right. I want you to nod your head.
There's different levels of racism.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this too. And any people talking on these shows, they even said Brian Flores has a better record than Brian Daboll.
That's nice, and that's nice. And what if? Okay, so say if Stephen A. I can't use Stephen A. Smith. Let's use Will Cain for example. They came to me and was like, "Hey, look, Will Cain is going to be your co-host for your show on ESPN," and I tell them no. I want Quinte. Would that make me racist? Yes or no?
No, that's want to work with somebody you have camaraderie with.
Exactly, right, that's what they do.
Yeah, but it's.
Like I said, the general manager came from the Buffalo Bills in the front office to run the Giants. So he's going to hire who he's comfortable with.
I get that point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I get you.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, some people do stuff without knowingly doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Would you, as an owner of a team, if your GM picked Brian Daboll to be your head coach, how would you feel?
I would trust his judgment because that's what I hired him for.
I will second guess that because the Giants have a pretty good defense. I would rather hire a defensive guy and make sure he gets the best offensive coordinator on the market.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works, bro. I'm trying to tell you. When you do things, you want to put your partner on. That's what you do. You put your boys on. Like, so if I go out and I get a job, I'm going to put you guys on before I bring somebody else on that's even more qualified than you. That's just how
I
the
get
mindset
that.
works.
I get that, but that's not always the case.
That's the nepotism. That's the nepotism. That's that nepotism.
Yeah. Yes.
And then the nepotism works more for the white people than it does for black people most of the time. Because I'm gonna say this: at the same time, you're looking out for me and G and Banks. You're gonna have people on ESPN gonna talk smack about you, trying to bring all your homies on, and not giving somebody who has a better, longevity and to perform better than us. They're gonna it's a catch-22 because you're gonna get talked bad about either way. So it is either way. It is what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. But as far as that aspect of it, from the Giants' perspective, that right there is going to be very, very hard to prove racism on that. Yes, you got the text messages, but at the same time, Bill Belichick doesn't work for the New York Giants.
But how did he know that?
But you know something, Divorce. Sometimes people do things and not realize what they're doing. Like again, like I stated before, there's different levels of racism. There's unintentional racism where it just happens and it just looks it's not like it's intentional, it just happens. And then there's intentional, blatant racism. So you just got to. But
we really think this is racism here with the Giants situation. That's racism.
I don't think that's racism, but that's like that's just a little funny, a little shady, a little.
Yeah, it's a big shady because you got to interview two minority candidates. So the two minority candidates come in there.
I really can't look at it as shady.
What if the Rooney Rule is just a quota. It's just a quota. They have no intentions of hiring the actual black. They just do it so the NFL can leave him alone. So that is systemic racism. In my opinion.
I got a question for both of you. So I always said this in the beginning when Brian Flores got hired for the Dolphins. I feel as though he was the scapegoat for them to get Harbaugh here.
I could have sworn I sat here and I told y'all that him tanking when he did that in 2019, that was not a good idea. But I was a fool though, Quinte.
But he wasn't.
Remember that? I don't know nothing.
He wasn't tanking. The team wanted him to tank.
But that's what he wanted to do too.
No, he didn't. Brian Flores didn't want to tank. He didn't. He just did you watch
his own mouth.
I'm gonna say this.
No, he did not want to. No, he did not want to.
We're going to build this team the right way from the ground up, starting from the trenches. That's what he said.
But he said he speaks with integrity. He lives in truth. He wants to. You play to win the game. He didn't want to tank. He wanted to take it off.
Result. And it looked pretty bad to me.
I'm gonna say this.
That's not the point. The result is not the point. The point is you got to have integrity. Even if you suck. Play to go out and play into.
You can't play like
play
that.
to win.
You can't do that.
Play like that.
You
can't do that.
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. The only reason why he got offered those $100,000 a game because remember the end of the season start winning. If he wanted us to lose, the owner wanted us to lose. Wait a minute,
Quinte. So hold on, Quinte. So my thing is, I think he might have been on board with losing at first.
No.
And then he had a change of heart later on down the road.
They traded with all your so-called best talent on the team and brought me, you, Banks, G.
And who did that? Was that Flores or was that the front office?
That was the front office.
Oh, so now we would. Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
I'm gonna say this.
DeVore, we just had a pod. We just had a pod where you said Stephen Ross.
Hold on, G. Hold on, G. I have sat here and I have listened to all these Miami Dolphins fans for the past 4 years.
I'm gonna say this.
They have literally sat here and they told me Brian Flores is a wonderful coach. He is stripping this team down from the bottom and then rebuilding the whole freaking thing.
DeVore. Let me say this to you, man, because you a person that love Adam Gase for some reason.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. Do you know how it works?
Do you know how it works?
Oh, I know how it works, just like your job.
Okay, so
the person who's in higher up make those decisions. Fire people, get rid of people. What Flores has the coaching staff he fires. He might say he don't want a player he doesn't want to play on the team. He can get them cut, but it's not his final decision.
Final say.
It's his not final say. Chris Greer has final say.
I agree.
That's what people don't understand. That's what I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say
okay,
this.
so
That's
if you
people,
agree,
that's
then
what
why
people
you feel that way?
Why you feel that foolishness that you just said?
What
That's all
foolishness?
Exactly.
You guys,
just
you
said it.
Quinte said it out his mouth too. He said,
I said he does not have final say.
He did. But
He
now
does
you
not
want
have
to
final
deflect
say.
the blame now that the situation has changed.
DeVore, it's crazy.
DeVore, you're not
that
listening to
say
nothing
that.
I said. You didn't
I
listen
heard
to
you.
nothing I said.
I heard you. 3
You know
years
you
ago,
did.
I
You not
heard
listen
you,
to nothing
Quinte.
I said.
I heard you.
You did
I
not
heard
listen
you.
to nothing I
Oh
just
my
said.
God.
I
He
heard
does
what
not
you
have
just
final
said,
say.
but I also
Oh
heard what you
my
said
God.
But I'm gonna
3
say this.
years ago
I'm gonna
when
say
you
this.
said
Or you
Flores is
something else,
doing a
man.
phenomenal job stripping this team down,
you
putting it
hedging,
from
you hedging.
scratch. There is no like whose
hedging.
fault is it? Is it?
Yeah, he is.
At some point,
Yeah, he
Brian
definitely-
Flores has to take responsibility for something. He can't escape this
But
with
he
his hands
did,
washed
I'm gonna say,
clean.
when he did the interview on both shows, he said I took full.
He said it. He
ownership.
said it.
Have
He said
ownership of stuff I made mistakes on.
Exactly.
He said it.
The
Okay,
man is,
That's what you.
the man has integrity.
People,
He has integrity.
you sound like a touneer right now.
I'm not sounding like a two-and-ear.
I'm gonna say
I'm
this.
just
I'm
telling.
gonna
Hey,
say this.
I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm calling a spade a spade because I wasn't cool with the whole rebuild situation. I wasn't. You was. I wasn't. You was.
I understood. I'm gonna say this to you. If
Oh
you
wait,
didn't
Quinte
rebuild,
he was cool.
Yes, he
I
was.
cool with
Yes,
the
yes, he
rebuild.
was.
I didn't know that.
Bring up hedging back.
I'm gonna say
Don't
this.
bring up hedging
I'm gonna
back.
say this. I'm gonna say this. The reason why I said I'm cool with it because people don't realize it's all about the cap for the team and stuff. We was paying too much money for mediocre players.
What mediocre player?
Tannehill, Rashad Jones.
DeVore keeps bringing up Larry Tunsil. He did not like
Larry
that.
Tunsil had the most holdings.
Okay.
Quinte. And I proved it in the chat.
Is Jesse Davis better than Larry Tunsil?
Huh?
Is Jesse Davis better than Larry Tunsil?
No, he's not. He's not.
Is Liam Eichenberg better than Larry Tunsil?
But that's what you just.
Is Austin Jackson better than Larry Tunsil?
I'm gonna say this to you.
Is Michael Dieter better than Larry Tunsil?
I'm gonna say this to you.
Oh my God.
One offensive lineman does not make a whole team, bro.
It's a start.
It's not a start.
It's a start, Quinte.
Okay,
it's a start.
Okay, I'm gonna say this to you, bro. When you're rebuilding the team, you gotta scrap it. That's how to me. That's how you rebuild a team.
You're scrapping it, but what you gonna be doing in free agency this year? You're gonna get Terron Armstead,
I'm gonna say,
right?
We're not gonna get nobody. You're
gonna get Terron Armstead. That's what you plan on doing. You're playing more. You're gonna be paying more money for an older player.
Jesse Davis. He's not gonna come here. He's going somewhere. He's gonna go to the freaking Bengals. He's gonna go somewhere else. Why would you come here? You have no quarterback to win you a championship. That's what people don't understand. You wanna build around Tua. We don't have nothing. We have the defense. I'm gonna say this.
Hey,
the defense.
I don't get it, man. I don't.
But G, you understand what I'm saying, right? G?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I don't because
people don't. They have blinders on. They have blinders on.
There was nothing you built the team on.
I'm gonna say if you were one of the top rated offensive line, you, DeVore, and G Money, the two top rated tackles, right and left tackle, played for the team, right? Why would you go to the Miami Dolphins instead of going to the Bengals? Why? And they have the same amount of money we have, almost the same amount of money. Why in the hell would you go to the Dolphins? Why? Just because you could get a lot of money? Why?
Hey, G.
What's up?
See, Quinte like to throw shade on Larry Tunsil because he says
I'm gonna say this.
He had the most holdings of the 2018 season.
He look at one thing.
He looking at holdings, but we're not looking at the talent. We're not looking at the talent.
Okay.
So if the Dolphins, let's play devil's advocate, Quinte. Let's play devil's advocate. If the Dolphins decided not to draft Tua at number 5, what was the original Miami Dolphins pick? Was it 5? Was it 18? Or was it
5? That year it was 5.
Okay, it was 5. So if the Dolphins did not decide to draft Tua at number 5, they could have put another offensive lineman on that line. They could have got Jerry Willis. They could have got Mekhi Becton. They could have got Tristan Wirfs.
They could have got the guy
Cesar Ruiz. They could have got all these guys, but instead you go ahead and trade Larry Tunsil and have us start from scratch again. Well, and we're about to do it again.
But I'm gonna say
Quinte, he has a point though. He has a point.
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. We would have kept him, and we would have still sucked.
Quinte, where's your foundation at, Quinte? Where's your foundation, Quinte? Where is your foundation at?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100 with you, bro. We still would have sucked.
We would have sucked, but you had a building piece. You had a building.
I don't want to be. What are you talking about?
I don't want to be. Tunsil was your building piece. Instead of you needing five offensive linemen, you would have needed 4. You could have
went, but you got one offensive lineman and 4 offensive guys. One offensive lineman.
You act like an offensive line is built overnight, though. You had Lermy Tunsil. You had a Pro Bowl.
But DeVore, one player is not going to make that much of a difference.
It's not going to
make that much of a difference. But guess what you're doing, G? You're going back into the draft and you're drafting the exact same fucking player. What are you talking about?
DeVore, either or, they would have sucked. Either way, they would have sucked.
It's fine. It's not going to be built overnight, but at least you have a piece in that place where you could go and go and.
What you want to be the Dallas Cowboys? You want to be the Dallas Cowboys?
You went in the next year's draft and got the same freaking position, and he's not even better than the player you traded.
But I'm gonna say this to you, bro. If we drafted Justin Herbert, we won't be having this effing conversation.
What, Quinte? So I want to know what your mindset was when we went into the 2019 season with thumbs on the offensive line. What was your mindset? I wanted to know what your mindset was.
I wanted Simmons, the safety /
No. That's not what I asked you. I wanted to know when the Dolphins made that trade. When the Dolphins made that trade, what was your thought process when you sat there and you saw the starting offensive 5 offensive linemen on the Baltimore Ravens game? What was your thought process?
Let's say that again.
When the Dolphins went out to play the Baltimore Ravens week 1, 2019, when you looked at the starting 5 offensive linemen, what was your thought process?
You still was going to lose.
No, the quarterback was going to get killed. That's what you was thinking.
I'm going to say this to you, bro. I'm going to be 100 with you. This what you failed to realize.
What did I feel to realize?
We go Dolphin. We go. I'm gonna stop saying we. You go Dolphin. That's what's wrong with delusional Dolphin fans.
What are you saying, Quinte? You going back out the draft and you drafted another freaking player that's not even good. That can't even hold Lermy Tunsil's cleats. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I'm gonna be 100 with you, bro. I know Lermy Tunsil was a good player. Yes, he is. He's just a good player. Is he better than Teron Armstead?
Is Teron Armstead on his team? Is he on his team?
I'm asking. I was finna say your government name.
No, he is not better than Teron Armstead.
Is he better than Williams, who played for the 49ers? No. So, like I was saying,
are they on the Miami Dolphins?
Like I keep saying, it doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm gonna say we can have this. People fail to realize we can have the best offensive line. We still gonna suck.
I don't think you're realizing.
How are you going to have this conversation?
But DeVore, either way, they would have sucked.
You still would have sucked.
Doesn't matter. How are we going to be good?
How would you say it doesn't matter?
I'm gonna say DeVore. I'm gonna say this to you, DeVore. I'm gonna switch it up on you real quick, DeVore.
Okay.
You got a defensive coach. He wanted to build his defensive unit first, and guess what he did? He built his defensive unit.
That's
first.
not how football works, bro.
He wanted
to build his defensive unit first. So we just gonna totally just ignore.
This would DeVore failed to
build on defense running the ball. What are you talking about? Even I know.
How are you running the ball when you don't have no offensive lineman to block?
I'm gonna say this to you, DeVore. But I'm gonna say this to you, DeVore. I understand the offensive great with a lot of people. I understand that, but at the same time, he came in as a defensive guru, and his defense was good. When your boy came to the Dolphins, he came as the offensive guru. Offense was good for one season, and that's a fact.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So
that's
2019,
you're talking about Adam Gase.
Was good.
I'm talking about Adam Gase.
2019, the defense was good in 2019.
No, it was good in 2020 and 2021. That's 2 years, as opposed to 1 year with Adam Gase.
Oh no, it wasn't good in 2021.
Yes, it was. What are you talking about?
Take a step back. No,
I don't want to say this to you.
Take a step back.
This what the stats lie to people. People don't look. That's why I don't hate the analytics stuff. I hate all that stuff. People take away the eye test of watching the game. That's what I hate now. People go by stats, all this bull crap. It's a whole bunch of people who never played sports in a day in their life, sitting at a computer, adding up shit. If you watch the game, you know our defense. Even the games we lost, only one game we got our ass kicked. Really, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Even the 2 Buffalo Bills games, the defense kept us in the game. All of us couldn't do shit. That's when we got blown out at the end. I'm being 100, which is why people do not watch the games, bro. They watch stats and bullshit. That's what pisses me off about with people. Come on, it's like, come on now, dude. You cannot say the dude was not a good coach. You cannot say that. You cannot say
he wasn't a good coach.
But how you insinuate things?
No. Well, yeah, that's true. DeVore said he's not a great coach, but he's a good coach. That's what DeVore said. That's so.
That's just my opinion.
Don't come on, man, like that. Like
he insinuates a lot of things like he's terrible.
He does.
I didn't say he was terrible, but you were
insinuate
following right behind him with the Larry Tunsil trade. But at the end of the day, look where that got you.
I'm gonna say this: if we kept Larry Tunsil that year, we would have wasted a year's career for nothing.
You wasted Xavier Howard's career.
Just like I said, you wasted Xavier Howard's career for nothing. But at the same time, Xavier built up his ranks to get that $20 million so he go to another team. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I
Larry
don't.
Tunsil was still young enough to get that deal.
No, I don't. I really
don't.
I'm
gonna say this to you. You think
oh my God.
You think if the Dolphins release Xavier Howard right now, somebody won't give him $20 million a season?
They will.
All right, then. That proves my case. In my opinion, that first year, he shut down Xavier Howard. I'm wasting you, man. I ain't finna let you play this. That first season, Xavier Howard could have played the rest of the season, but he shut him down.
Shout out to EM in the chat.
What's going on, EM?
I'm
DeVore, you on fire tonight, bro.
I'm still having a hard time understanding the mindset here. We're wasting Larry Tunsil's career, so we're just going to go ahead and just trade him over draft picks. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything with those draft picks, but sat here and get tomato cans on the offensive line.
I'm gonna say this.
You know what? How about this, Quinte?
Hold on. Let me say one thing.
Go ahead.
Was Larry Tunsil better than Jake Long? And he wasn't. He was not better than Jake Long.
Doesn't matter. He was still
serviceable. Yeah, with Jake Long, screw. We didn't do shit.
Quinte,
we didn't do shit.
Quinte, in the past,
answer my question.
In the past,
and that was the best offensive line we had.
How many good offensive linemen have the Dolphins had in the past 10 years?
Bro, how many good offensive line we had in the past 20 years?
I just gave you 10.
No, answer my 10. Answer my question. How many good? We had 3 good fucking offensive linemen in 22 years.
So why the hell you trading them? Okay, name them.
What's the point to have them? Still gonna suck.
Name them.
I don't get it.
So at what point, how are we gonna get good? You gotta add good players to get good, right?
Add good players. You gotta add good players.
True. That's true.
But at the same time, okay. This is the problem with the Dolphins. You have all because I heard what you call it say this. I'm having a blank on his name. We'll have peanut butter, no jelly. We have bread with no peanut butter and jelly. We had the bread, peanut butter, no jelly.
Yeah.
It's never right. It's never complete.
Yeah.
It just in my humble opinion, I'm gonna say this. How can he improve on his offensive side if he didn't give 1 more year to improve himself to improve on that other side?
He proved himself. He had 4 offensive line coaches in the past 3 years.
What did the offensive line? I'm gonna say this. But
you're still making the same point we're making, but just in a different way.
Wait, it's the same thing. It's the same.
That's what you're not understanding. It's the same thing.
What's the same thing? What's the same thing?
You still gonna suck.
I said offensive line coachman.
Right, but you made a point saying that the Dolphins have 4 different offensive linemen, meaning that the Dolphins can't get it together. They can't get their shit together.
Because they traded Larry Tunsil.
Yeah, that's the point that we're making. They suck. That's the whole point. Either or, they would have sucked. Either way, if they would have kept Tonto, they would have still.
I'm gonna
sucked.
say this.
That's
I'm gonna say.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna be on the divorce side, real.
Hey,
I'm gonna say what the divorce saying.
Robert Hunt on the line too.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna agree with DeVore on this point. He would have helped out the young players on the team. I will say that much. But at the same time, knowing the Dolphins,
that's just them, man.
I'm just being honest with you.
That's just been the Dolphins over the past 20 years.
If we had say, okay, I'm gonna use divorce logic. That year we drafted Tua. We would have kept Larry Tunsil, right? With the draft Tua, moved up and got Tristan Wirfs, so the right tackle was tight. Second round, still draft Robert Hunt, that guard, right? Do you have Dieter at center, the young guy at center? That means you have a second round pick. You could have picked up a running back. We could have picked up the dude for the Colts, right?
Jonathan Taylor.
The offense would have been set.
Done.
Then you have Tua at quarterback, noodle arm.
You really didn't even.
It still would have sucked. It still would have sucked.
No, they wouldn't have. They would have had to win the game.
I'm gonna say this. It took him. Yeah, he was good. Yes, Jonathan Taylor's good. Yes, but he didn't start getting all the reps to this year to know how really good he is. They really didn't get him all the carries his rookie season. Because remember, they had Mack and the other guy, Hines. And they was getting most of the carries.
You understand
what
Quinte?
Can you imagine, Quinte, if you had Matt Breida and you had Jordan
Howard? Matt Breida has no vision.
With that offensive line, he don't need no vision. We snowplow with everybody with that line.
But you're not understanding.
That's what I'm gonna say this to you. If we have this, I'm gonna say this. Like I had said to do that work. If we had a better offensive line, we kept Ryan Tannehill, we would have been in the playoffs this year.
We would have.
I'm just being honest.
And you know why? You know why I respect Gabe so much? At least he tried to fix the O-line.
He tried, but that was one season, though.
No. Because I'm about to read you who he bought in. Because he bought in Josh Sitton, the best guard in football, because
he sucked.
And because he was on the downslide of his career, but at least he made the attempt to bring him in there.
Oh, so you bring in a washed-up player? Go ahead. Next.
Hey, it's the thought. It's the thought that counts, though. It's the thought that counts. You can't just sit here and be like, "Look at Flores. He didn't even freaking try."
DeVore, your mindset is amazing. Like your mindset is very.
It's
G. Amazing.
So you have no scores on the Heat right now, and you just gonna trade D Wade away because you feel like you wasted his career?
Hell no. But
okay, then. So why you do that to Larry Tunsil?
Why? So Larry Tunsil
is not. He's a good player, but he's not the best left tackle.
He was our best player on our offense at that time.
I'm gonna say this. So was Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry it was gone in 2007. At the end of 2017 season, we talk about 2019.
Can I say something? You're missing the point. You're missing the point. He just broke it down. Everything. He just broke down everything. We still would have had Tua at quarterback, who sucks.
But it does. It doesn't matter. How do you know that? If you're not putting the right pieces in place, how do you know that?
You're just going off of the fact. Not a good player.
Wait a minute. You don't. How do you know that? You're going off the fact because you know now that Tua is not good. But my thing is, I don't like Tua. Tua's not that great of a player, but you really did not give him an opportunity by surrounding him with protection either. Like, what are you saying? You had nothing but bums surrounding any quarterback that's been in a Miami Dolphins uniform the last 3 years. That's why you had to give Ryan Fitzpatrick a whole lot more credit than what you give him. Because of the fact that you didn't surround him with no protection at all. Come on now, Quinte. Stop sitting here and stop studying. Isaiah Prince.
I'm gonna say this. These are young drafted players we didn't give a chance to progress in their career. These are you're naming a person who was young, but I'm gonna go back to 2012. We drafted Ryan Tannehill, right? That made me come back to watch the Dolphins a little bit more. They drafted Ryan Tannehill. We didn't really draft no receivers. Know who Ryan Tannehill had his first couple years in the league? and he was throwing damn near 4,000 yards a season with a receiver that run two receivers that run a fucking 4.7, and people crying about receivers could get no separation, and you crying about a man with no line who have poor pocket presence and did it with terrible O-line all his years for the Dolphins.
Who did they bring in free agency that year?
Sorry ass Mike Wallace.
No, they bought in Chad Johnson. That didn't work out. So at that point, they had to make another decision, which they didn't do.
Dude, I'm talking about people that actually played in fucking games. Stop saying.
I know that, but you act like he didn't have nobody. But at the time, Chad was there. They bought him in there for a reason. But he did not play because he got cut. So at that point, when you're going into the season, what are you supposed to do? Because I remember they bought in Braylon Edwards and they bought in somebody else for a workout.
When you go into battle and played the games, who did he throw the fucking ball to? A whole bunch of scrubs, and he still did his. I'm giving Tannehill credit. I'm giving Tannehill more credit than Tua.
Where are you
and I
going
know
with this?
Tua is a better quarterback prospect in a sense than Tannehill.
I didn't say that he was. How are we supposed to get over the hump? Because the last time I checked, the Dolphins, when they made the playoffs, what did they have that was good?
Okay, let me ask you something. Can I pose a question to you, football people? Let me just ask a question. Okay. Let's say when Quinte was breaking down the offensive lineman, let's say they had a different quarterback than Tua. Let's say they drafted Justin Herbert. Do you think the Dolphins would have sucked?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so you're saying yes. Then why are you?
Are we going to have Lermy Tunsil? Are we having Lermy Tunsil on this team?
Yes, everything is still the same.
Okay, then yeah, we'll be very good.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Go ahead.
When Justin Herbert was having that historic year, his rookie year, half his weapons was hurt. His running back was hurt. He only had one receiver, this Mike Williams, right? And everybody else. Other receiver wasn't there, right? Offensive line was trash.
It ain't as bad as the Dolphins, though.
It was trash, bro. It wasn't
as bad as the Dolphins. Don't sit here and tell that bold-faced lie that it was as bad as the Dolphins.
Dude, it's times. I'm gonna say this to you. This is what people don't understand. When did Tua ever get sacked 5 times in a game? When did Tua ever get sacked 9 times in a game? Never. And you can look at that shit. That's what shit blows my mind. And the reason why the offensive line gets so much so-called pressure put on them because they run a funky ass RPO offense. When you should be playing a man-on-man offense, you have big fat dudes, 320 up.
Running RPOs.
They're running the fucking RPO to help out a quarterback with a fucking noodle.
But that's why he doesn't get sacked, because the RPO was such a quick play, Quinte.
No. When they run the RPO, most of the time his ass get mollywopped, and that's when he fumbles the ball. Every time he get hit, somebody hit him, he's fumbling. I'm gonna say this to you, DeVore. I understand the game, but I don't understand your logic. Sometimes
I Quinte, I just don't understand the logic of trading Lermy Tunsil. I just don't understand it. I'm
gonna say this to you.
Okay.
From a business aspect, I understand. But those 3 picks they picked, that's why we're having this conversation. If they pick the latter, the right players, we won't be having this conversation.
What right players? What are the right players?
Right players. Right. If we picked Herbert and we picked Tristan Wirfs, we picked if we pick what's his name?
Austin.
If we pick Austin Jackson again, him and Tristan Wirfs would have been decent. So we would have had veterans at the guards. I'm gonna say this: Austin Jackson first year, he was good. He had a down slide this year. I'm being one. He played good last year. Before he got injured, you can't that man to give up no fucking sacks until he got hurt. And you know it's true. And all of a sudden he forget how to play. Come on now, dude. Something ain't right. That's what people look at what they want to see. I watch everything. People watch because I'm gonna say this. That RPO is hindering the offensive line. I don't care what nobody says. The RPO hinders the offensive line.
Okay, answer my question, Quinte.
Go ahead.
Why are we going into the draft to draft another freaking tackle? That makes no sense.
Okay, because your man Chris Greer picks the wrong players. He had one year picking all the right players, and everybody want to be on his jock strap.
What year was that?
Last year. Last year was his best draft he ever had in his life.
How long has he been the Dolphins GM?
Well, the past 3-4 years, really.
So
he's been with the team for a long time, about 20 years, I believe.
Right.
Because it's weird to me how this dude keeps his job.
Oh, now it's weird. That before we liked.
I'm gonna say this, DeVore. I wasn't.
You're allowed to change your mind, DeVore. You know that, right?
But DeVore,
you're allowed to change your mind over time. I'm
gonna say this to you. I always said something was weird about this dude, but I never was on your platform to say how I felt about this dude. Only person who agrees with me, he's not. He's gonna be on other people's channels. I'm just being 100 because I don't understand how this dude keeps his job. I really don't. How is he like the company snitch or what? That's what it looks like.
That's what it seemed like. That's what
I'm being honest with you. It looks like he's the company snitch.
He's the house. Well, let me.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't. I want to keep coming on. You know.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any final thoughts before we close this out? Because I don't think we're gonna get this tonight because of the fact that I don't understand why you trade Larry Tunsil just to go in the draft and draft the same player at a different position.
We're having this conversation because the general manager picked the wrong players. If he picked the right players, you won't be having it. If we had Tristan Wirfs, would you be having this conversation? Yes. If we had Justin Herbert.
If you would have drafted Tristan Wirfs or any offensive lineman to play the left tackle, we definitely would be having this conversation.
He was Tristan Wirfs when we playing left tackle, playing right tackle. That was his best position.
Okay, so
and you still, I'm gonna say this: if you drafted Tristan Wirfs, still drafted Austin Jackson, and had a veteran guard, 2 veteran guards, or even if you still drafted Robert Hunt to put him at guard. All you need is one veteran leadership on the team to keep those guys in check. I mean, a high-level guard, not no.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? The team will be decent, and you put Justin Herbert with a running back, the team will be better. You won't be having this conversation.
Hey, I don't know whose mindset this was to orchestrate such a terrible plan, but
because to me, the whole plan was to make Flores look bad. That's just my opinion.
Shoot,
that's what it looks.
Whoever it seems like everybody that gets to become a Miami Dolphins head coach, they want them to look bad. You know what's funny?
After they get fired, they make them look bad.
It's a bad organization. It's very.
You know what's funny? I think you guys need to give credit where credit is due with Adam Gase as a head coach for the Dolphins. I really do.
Because we don't have time. We don't have time.
You know what? We don't have time. But it's going to be my final thought. It's my final thought. So Quinte, if you remember the report that came out when Adam Gase was fired, Stephen Ross said that that Adam Gase was not on board with rebuilding the team.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Do you think that was the plan that he was putting towards Adam Gase to do?
Probably was.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Anybody else have any final thoughts?
But okay, I'm gonna add on to that. He thought he had somebody he can finish that plan with, and he didn't. And now he effed up in the game. So think about it. Is he effed up in the game? Because if it's proven, because other people coming out saying that $100,000 thing is real.
Oh well, I'm gonna put it like this. That I 1,000% agree with. I believe that's what the plan is, especially when Gase got fired because of that reason. How he wanted him to rebuild the team after the team was, I would probably say, was a playoff team if you look at the player personnel on that roster.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Quinte, come on, man. Don't play that game with me.
Look,
come on, Quinte.
We was an 8-8.
When we get off air, we're gonna sit here and look at that 2018 roster. Okay. We gonna have this discussion. But G, you got any final thoughts when we close this thing out, man?
Don't let depression keep you down. Depression is a motherfucker. But once you come out of the other side of depression, it's so lovely and so peaceful. It's great. So I just would tell everybody, just no matter what you go through, just keep fighting, just keep going. Don't let it consume you. Always be positive. Always try to be happy. Speak with integrity. Live in truth. And your life will be okay. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I want to second that what G just said. I'm a person that lived through it, lost some people in my life that made me feel like giving, not taking my life, but just give up. Just like this is just making any sense. But you gotta be positive every day. Put positive energy out. You'll get it back in return. And trust me, it comes back.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are two beautiful statements. But we will be back. I want to say this Wednesday because we got the Super Bowl betting odds and spreads, of course. So you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on our Facebook page. Also, this episode of the Not for Debate podcast is brought to you by Bet Us, the online bookie site. If you want to have 125% in gambling bonuses, be sure to click the link in the description. This is the Not for Debate podcast.
Great show. Good night, y'all.
Good night.